Yeah, welcome in. Welcome back to another episode of the Format Podcast live. Yeah, absolutely. So we got a heck of a show for you here tonight. Well, what we're gonna do, let's go ahead and wait a few minutes, let a few people get in the chat, but we got one hell of a show lined up for you. Obviously, as you can see by the rundown, we're going to talk Kendrick Perkins and LeBron James and the media and how the perception of LeBron James is really, really changing. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about Kristaps Porzingis, his effect on the finals and the Celtics. And, of course, we're going to talk about the logo, Jerry West. But let's go ahead and wait a few minutes and see what we get, and then we'll go from there.
Yes, sir.
Gotta hydrate.
Get rid of some of that white space. So let me know when you get ready. I don't know, bro. I've been smoking cigars for probably about 12 years.
Yeah.
Thinking about doing the sommelier.
Okay. Yeah, that's what's up. That's what's up. All right. Looks like we got one in the chat. We'll wait a couple more minutes. Sommelier though, that's real deal right there. And like, if you really get on it, that's some good money. Go overseas, hit up Europe, and really do that thing.
350, and then some. Not bad. It's not bad.
Yeah,
it's not bad.
Not bad at all.
Still got Dallas in 7. Still got Dallas in 7, bro.
Oh, you still got that, huh?
Yeah, I still got Dallas. I think, and we're gonna talk about that later with Zingis, but I think that's a big blow. It's a big blow. He, for whatever reason, he can't stay healthy.
You know what though? I got some interesting stats on that might change your mind. So yeah, that's gonna be interesting.
I was a New York fan when he was in New York with the Knickerbockers.
Yeah. Oh, that's Melo though. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that was cousin Melo. Definitely cousin Melo. You know that.
Yeah, I know that. I know.
Yeah, I don't know. I watched 7 p.m. in Brooklyn. And he talked a lot about how, when he was signing these contracts, they kind of told him what his role was going to be on the team. And
really?
Yeah. They told him what.
I'm gonna have to check that out.
I'm gonna be just spot. He an ISO guy, and they ain't want him to be an ISO guy in his last contract. And so when he was with the Lakers, he talked about him getting like something like 20 shots a game or 15 to 20 shots a game. I don't even think he got that, but all that was like in his contract, where they didn't want him to be the guy that he normally play to his strengths. They want him to play to. But that's a whole nother story for another day.
That is, yeah, we're gonna talk about that. Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, that's
no doubt. All right, well, I guess we should just go ahead and get started, and I guess you know what? Let's do this since the main course is going to be that K-Perk and LeBron. Let's go ahead. We'll talk Porzingis first, and then we'll come back to that. And even if we got to talk Jerry West after, so we could rearrange based on the thumbnail, and we can come back to it. How that sound to you?
Yeah, that works.
All right, let's get it, man. All right, so what we're gonna do? We're gonna rearrange because right now it's a little slow, no traffic in the chat, but that's all right. So first we're gonna go ahead and talk about Kristaps Porzingis. But before we do, you know what time it is. If you're here on YouTube and you haven't already, please make sure you go ahead, click that like, that subscribe, that notification bell. Make sure you're kept up to date whenever we drop new content on the channel. If you want the audio only version of the podcast, open up your audio podcast platform, hit the search bar, type in The Format Podcast, and we should come right up. If you're enjoying the content, make sure you give us that like, that 5-star review, and drop a comment. All that stuff helps us rise in the algorithm, helps us find more sports fans, helps more sports fans find us. And finally, make sure you write it down, put it in your phone, set an alarm, do whatever you got to do to remember. Saturday nights at 7 p.m., we are live here on the Format Podcast, and we'll give you the opportunity to call in, talk to us, get at me. I love it. I can't wait. All right, so like I said, we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna rearrange the rundown a little bit, and we're gonna start with the NBA Finals and Kristaps Porzingis. And this is a really interesting situation, right? Because game one of the finals, I guess, well, not even game one yet, but we know that one of the big stories going into the finals was, is Porzingis going to play? If Porzingis plays, how good is he going to be? What type of an impact is he going to be able to have on this series? What type of an impact is he going to be able to have for the Celtics? Is he going to be rusty? Is he going to be ready? Is he going to be in a situation where he can come in and really contribute? Is he going to have difficulty finding his role again with a team that really figured out how to play at a high level without him, right? So these are all the things that we were looking at, all the different questions we were asking. So what were some of your thoughts before the series started about Porzingis? Like, where was your mind when it comes to him and what he might or might not do?
So for me, I wasn't sure if he was going what Porzingis he was going to get. I didn't know the extent of his injury. I
Mm-hmm.
thought that was kind of like kept away from us, but I know he was plagued by injuries during his tenure at not only the Knicks but also with Dallas, and there was some off the court issues that he had as well. So I
Mm-hmm.
wasn't sure. I knew that there was, some added energy to the, him playing against his old team. I
That's a
knew he
good
was
point.
going to show up.
Mm-hmm.
I just wasn't sure if, he's the unicorn, right? Like I
That's what
followed
Melo
him
called
when he
him.
was with the Knicks. I was following him,
Yeah, yeah.
and most of the time he was on the bench.
Mm-hmm.
And he was in the game. He, solid scorer, good
Mm-hmm.
defender.
Yeah.
7-3 frame. Um, put the ball on the floor a little bit, shoot the
Mm-hmm.
three. His range is, yeah, he's a bucket. He's a
Mm-hmm.
bucket. So I mean, considering what the Celtics lineup is right now, and then you add a 7-3 unicorn to it,
Mm-hmm.
it just it was like, is this guy gonna stay healthy? That's pretty
Yeah,
much
no
it.
doubt. And it's funny because when Melo called him that, I think it was Melo who said he's a unicorn, and
Yep.
we hadn't seen a skill set like that theoretically. It's funny how they always say we've never seen this before, when really, of course, we saw this before. His name was Ralph Sampson. Like, it was just
Yeah.
that he was
Yeah.
before his time, and they didn't let him do those things the same way that guys get to do it now if you're a big. But excuse me. Uh, it's funny. So you had Ralph Sampson, he was that guy, and then you had Porzingis, he was that guy 20 years later or 30 years later, and Porzingis now gives way to Wemby. So Wemby's like the newer version of him. You know what I'm saying? Very similar type of player, right? You got the length, you got the rim protection, you got the shot blocking. Wemby's a better rebounder than Porzingis, true, but they both can play on the perimeter, and I think Wemby's got a better handle than Porzingis. But the point is, he's like the next version of that. So it is funny how, it's always, oh, we've never seen this before. Yes, we have. It looked a little different. Like, that's one thing kind of drives me crazy. But at the same time, like, I guess if I'm in the NBA media in 2024, most of the people I'm talking to, they don't know who Ralph Sampson is, right? So I can't make that analogy, right? Maybe a lot of them aren't even sure who Porzingis was when he was that unicorn with the Knicks. So it's like you have to know your audience and know who you're talking to. But yeah, so what was it? Porzingis he had not played a game in 38 days when he played in game one, and so we weren't sure what we were going to see, but well, we saw him get busy, right? What do you have? 20 points in 20 minutes. He had the
Yeah.
three blocks. There's one of them you see right there. Um, so he really, whew, yeah, he had the 20 points in 20 minutes. I think he had 14 points in the first half or something like that. So, I mean, he definitely came in, was impactful, and I think that impact is what led to the Celtics getting that blowout win in that first game, like you said. Um, but so here's the thing, though, right? So Porzingis, he goes out, he has that game, he gets, he does his work. But I was concerned the whole time, like, is he going to be able to continue this through the rest of the series? Is his health going to hold up? being that he hasn't played in a while. Is he going to re-aggravate the injury? Is something going to happen? And of course, you never wish that on anybody, but a lot of times that's what you see. And it turns out we got a little something going on, right?
So the question I got for you is
Mm-hmm.
can the Celtics pull it off without Porzingis? Because remember, he played a lot of key minutes. After they
Mm-hmm.
went up 20 plus points, they
Mm-hmm.
kind of pulled back second half,
Yeah.
right? You see him in the second game two where he came in again. He was just only playing key minutes, defended the rim, and so if I'm Dallas, I'm attacking the rim at any chance I get because that's one
Yeah.
less shot blocker you got down there.
That's right.
So I guess the question is do you think tonight that the Celtics can pull it off? And if they can, going into game four, you might got like a semi-healthy Porzingis
Mm-hmm.
defending the rim. We don't even know if he's going to play tonight or not.
So I was about to ask you if you had heard whether or not he's going to play, because my thought was, well, number one, to answer your question, I do think that the Celtics can absolutely win without him, and we're going to get to that stat shortly. But I also looked at it and said, well, listen, if I'm the Celtics, I'm up 2-0 already. I don't even attempt to play him. If I win, the thing's in the bag because no one's ever come back from 0-3 right now. The great Nelson Mandela, I love this quote. He said, everything seems impossible until it is done, right? But to this point, we've never seen anyone come back in an NBA playoff series from 0-3, especially not the NBA finals. We've never seen that happen. So I don't anticipate that being the case, especially if the Celtics go up tonight, but I wouldn't play him. And if you win, great. If you lose, you're still up 2-1, and you see how he looks going into game 4. But so to your point, this is the kind of thing I was most concerned about after game 1, watching him go off like that. And it looks like it's happening. So he's got this injury, right? And he's got what's called a torn medial retic- ret, retinaculum.
Yeah,
Torn medial retinaculum, right? And that's the
anybody can
tendon.
pronounce that as you.
That's the tendon running over the big bone on the inside of your ankle. So this is good. I was listening to The Odd Couple on Fox Sports Radio last night with Chris Broussard and Rob Parker, podcast I listened to, right? But they actually had on an orthopedist who was a former NFL team doctor. His name's David Chow, and he gave some thoughts and did some explaining on that injury and what he feels about it. So I actually got that clip. So I'm gonna go ahead and play it, and then we'll come back and talk about it a little bit.
So look, I just read the title of Kristaps Porzingis' injury. I mean, I probably mispronounced every word. Give us in layman's terms what the injury is and what you think the prognosis is for him going forward.
Well, they actually spell it out. They literally say the injury is a torn medial retinaculum that allowed dislocation of the posterior tibialis tendon. I get it. It's big, fancy words. The bottom line is a main tendon on the inside of the ankle has flipped over the inside of the ankle. If you reach down to your shoe right now and feel the inside of your ankle, you'll feel the big piece of bone, and literally the tendon flipped over the top. This is a big deal. I don't see how it's day-to-day. As a matter of fact, I think it's heroic of Porzingis to have returned to the same game because the Celtics indicated it happened at 3:27 of the third quarter.
So how did he play then? If you're saying like this is the end of it, this is earth-shattering or whatever, how did he play?
He played because he didn't do a lot. I mean, if you look at what he did, he didn't do a whole.
Well, I've seen some reports that you could play with this, but the likelihood of you injuring the ankle more severely is just incredibly great if you were to go out and play with this. Is that true?
Well, I don't know. The retinaculum's already torn, but, imagine if that major tendon snaps over the bone on the inside of the ankle, you kind of fall down, right? I mean, I don't see how he can dynamically play. Like I said, it was heroic that he returned to the game. Do I think he's going to suffer permanent damage if he tries to play? No. Do I think he could sit out, being given his size at three-point range and shoot threes? Sure. But can he be dynamic in a rim protector? I just don't see it with this type of injury. I've treated this type of injury. And quite honestly, believe it or not, he's going to need surgery to repair the torn retinaculum.
So are you predicting he will not play another minute?
I am predicting that he will not play. He's trying to play. He's day-to-day, and they're keeping hope alive because he returned to the game. But I think they're going to, if they try and play him, they're going to find out very quickly that he can't do a lot.
All right, G. So, what do you think about what that doctor had to say? And I got relative confidence in what he had to say because, as we talked about before the clip, he's a former NFL team doctor, so we know he's an orthopedic specialist. What do you think he had to say?
I think he's spot on. I mean, when you talk about a 7'3" with the gross motor skills that he possessed, yeah, he's not going to be able to defend the rim the way I believe he should, right?
Mm-hmm.
But if you do put him in like those situational, you sub him in doing situational scenarios, he'll be able to perform. I don't know. It's hard to say. If I was like you, like I agree with you when I say I would sit him, right? I would definitely sit him because, you know, the game 5, game 6, and game 7 that's detrimental to this series right now. And so if you can sit him 2 games, let's say for instance you tied up 2-2, right, and he come back game 5 and perform, and he's semi like you get a little bit more mobility out of him. I think that'll be a plus for the Celtics.
Yeah, I can agree with that. I think the biggest thing they need from him is that rim protection, though. Like for me, the scoring was cool, but as you've seen, you can get that from anywhere on that team. But those big blocks that he had, I think those were the real tone setters. And if he can't get back to protect the rim, or they see he's injured, you know, first thing I'm doing, 1-5 pick and roll with Kyrie, right? I'm trying to have Kyrie put this dude in a blender because we know his ankles are hurt. So either he's not going to be able to stay with me and I'm gonna go right past him, or I'm gonna make him fall. Like, so if I'm Jason Kidd, I'm trying to get that matchup every time down. So yeah, I think we both agree that he should not play tonight. I don't know why you would, especially up 2-0. Just let him sit and try to work through that and see where we can go.
I don't think I don't think because of what we saw with Luka game 1 and game 2 not being as defensively minded as he should be, I don't think it's enough to tip the scales in the Dallas Mavericks' favor, right? I still got him at 7, but that's only because I don't know what Kyrie's going to show up. When Uncle Drew wake up, we never know, right? Like,
I got a feeling he might wake up tonight.
I would. I mean, if any night he's gonna wake up, it's gonna be tonight. He's either he's gonna wake up tonight or
it's all over. Exactly. Absolutely. And you know what though? Quick side note: when you're dealing with sports, it's always kind of iffy when you deal with a team doctor. Now, this guy, Dr. Chow, I don't think he's working for anyone right now, so he can be 100% honest. But it's always iffy when you're dealing with a team doctor because the team doctor has to balance being an employee of the franchise but doing the right thing by their patient, right? So it's like, how much do you believe it, right? Because remember when KD was hurt, what he had a knee, right? When he was in Golden State, and then he ended up tearing the Achilles. They told him with the knee, like, well, you can't hurt it anymore, and they let him get out there and play. And then, of course, he ended up hurting himself further and being out for like a year. So, that team doctor thing is, I just don't know.
Yeah,
but
we don't really know the extent of his injury because a lot of times teams just put anything out there. It just could be a decoy. It could be he might play tonight, you know.
Yeah.
And if you do, I mean, he did say, you know, they're gonna have to drag me out the court.
Yeah. Give him that Toradol spot, tape it up real tight, and it's for the chip. Get out there. Yeah. So who knows? But again, if I'm the Celtics, I don't see a need in further risking that when you're already up 2-0. If you're down 0-2 or even if you tied, okay, get out there. But you're in good shape right now, so I don't even see a need if you're the Celtics. But that's me.
They won with 30 plus games. They won 30 plus games or something like that without him. Well, they played in 30 plus games without him, so they definitely have an offensive package for him and a defensive package. And Al Horford, I think we talked about it the last show, with him having the most playoff appearances without a ring. So
the second most, Stockton and
then I mean I think they're in a good place. It's just Kyrie got to step up, like you said. Tim Hardaway Jr. They can get him in the game. It might change the tide, but without Porzingis there, that's a 7'3" body that's defending the rim. It's kind of open season for him.
Yes, sir. Yes, it is.
Yeah.
So here's a couple of key stats, right? These are doing research for the show. I came up with, well, I didn't come up with these. I found them, so I stole them. But so there's been 52 minutes so far in this series with Porzingis not being on the floor. The score during those 52 minutes in the first two games is 109 to 109. So clearly he's a difference maker, right? The series is tied when he's not on the floor. So that says something right there, whether it's his defense, the rim protection like we talked about, and of course the 20 points in game one, and I think he had 12 points in game two. So clearly he unlocked something in the Celtics offense. Now, in terms of playing with and without him, this was crazy to me. I heard this as well. In the regular season, the Celtics were 43 and 14 when he was on the floor, winning percentage of 7.54. Damn, G, what you do, man? They coming for you, bro?
Baltimore culture, man.
yeah, no doubt. But yeah, they were 43 and 14 with Porzingis. I'm sorry, not without. 43 and 14 with Porzingis, winning percentage of 7.54. Without Porzingis, they were 21 and 4, winning percentage of 840. So it's like, I guess we worried, like, do we really? Yo, look who popped up in the chat, son. Yo, what up, E? Hellhound, what's good, bro?
Oh man.
So for all y'all, anybody listening, whether it's now or in the future, who wants to know what a Hellhound is, that's the what is that?
That's us.
Bravo 313 Infantry Regiment, 4th Platoon Hellhounds, and that was our basic training company and platoon. So yeah, this our man Andre Elder. What up, E? That's our brother from the army. So he popped up here and he's showing us some love. So we got to show it right back. Good to see you, bro. Good to see you. But yeah, yep, there we go. Bravo 313. That's right. So yeah, where were we? So yeah, so like the Celtics have fully mastered how to play and play well without Porzingis. Just the difference is that when they have him, it just takes it to a whole new level. So there's that. But yeah, what I'm gonna do at this time, only got a couple in the chat, but I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna open it up 904-219-8264. If anybody wants to call, give their thoughts on Porzingis and the Celtics, how him not being there, if he's not there tonight, affects the team, or if you were the coach and you were the team, would you play him, etc. What are your thoughts on this topic? I'm gonna give y'all a couple minutes. If you want to call in, we can do that, and then we'll go ahead. We'll pay tribute to the logo, and then we'll come back around to the first topic, Kendrick Perkins and LeBron James. I'm hoping I get as many people as possible for that one, because I got something for y'all. All right, so we're gonna go ahead then. If there's no calls on that Porzingis topic, we're gonna go ahead and move to the logo. And so today's Wednesday, but what I normally do when we do the live shows, I go ahead and I chop them up so that each topic gets its own show that we can post. So if anybody wants to watch that particular topic, they could do that without watching the entire long form program. So anyway, normally I do, if y'all are with me on the channel, normally I do what's called Throwback Thursdays. And this week I had planned to do Larry Bird. I had everything laid out and all that, and G knew that. And then we got the news this morning that the logo himself, the great Jerry West, passed away at the age of 86. So once again, fate made the decision for me on who's going to be the primary person on that we're going to discuss on Throwback Thursday. And there we go. So it is Jerry West. And well, like I said, Jerry West passed away at the age of 86, and so he's no longer with us. So I guess first thing we want to do, let's go ahead give a moment of silence for the logo. All right, all right. So, Jerry West, man, one of the all timers, one of the all time greats, and um, most of us who are watching this channel, and most of us who are basketball fans, unless we really went back and were basketball historians, shout out to the Hoop Storians podcast, my man Tony. What up? Most of us, unless we're basketball historians, don't really know how great uh, Jerry West was, and this is a guy who he's the original great, like great shooting guard in the NBA. Played from the late 50s all the way through the early 70s. I think he played 14 seasons. Um, excuse me. So today they always talk about Jerry West. Jerry West. They always talk about Steph Curry, Klay Thompson as the best backcourt and the best shooting backcourt of all time. But before it was them, it was Jerry West and Gail Goodrich. Gail Goodrich was a star point guard from. I played for UCLA, and Jerry West, obviously from West Virginia. I think he won the national championship there. But Jerry West is that dude. You can see he had to pull up jump shot mastered, and this is a guy for his career. He averaged 27 points a game, 5.8 5.8 rebounds, 6.7 assists. And in an era where dudes didn't shoot a high percentage, they just got a lot of shots up. Jerry West is 47.5% from the field for his career and 81.5% from the stripe. So he was great. Now, let's also keep in mind 27 points per game in an era with no 3-point line. So we can only imagine if he had threes, probably average closer to 32 or 33 points a game for his career, which, would be higher than Michael Jordan, which would be the highest average of all time. If was the fifth though, right? But the point is, Jerry West, man, all time great. This is a guy, 14-time All-Star, 10-time All-NBA first team, one-time champion, executive of the year. And the crazy thing is, obviously we know that he's the NBA logo, that silhouette there, and you can see it in the thumbnail. That silhouette there, that's Jerry West dribbling. But the crazy thing is, he would have been regarded as even better if he wasn't 1-8 all time in the finals. Why was he 1-8 all time in the finals? Because he kept running into the Boston Celtics with Bill Russell and those guys, and that was really that was the beginning of the Celtics-Lakers rivalry, which we see today, right? So, excuse me. So Jerry West and Gail Goodrich and those guys, and later Wilt Chamberlain and what's my man named the small forward, Elgin Baylor, one of the all-time greats, another one. Those guys were loaded up, and they kept meeting up with the Celtics in the finals, and they kept coming up short. Jerry West, matter of fact, is the last finals MVP to be on the losing team. That's how good he was. He also has the record for highest points per game in a playoff run, like an entire playoff season. That was 40.8. Like, he was an absolute monster. I'm running off at the mouth, man. But what are your thoughts on Jerry West and what he meant to the game of basketball?
I think he was the only player to get MVP. He dropped a 42-point triple double, and they lost against the Celtics in was that 69? 69.
Yeah,
he lost against those guys, and he still managed to get MVP. Only player to do that, and so definitely a bucket, right? He was definitely a bucket, and I don't know, man. His highlights is just a lot of pump fakes, It's a lot of pump fakes, but he was a pure shooter. The two guard, what it stands for. I don't know his height. I don't know how tall he was, but
I think he was 6'3", 6'4". He wasn't
definitely shooting over all his defenders.
Mm-hmm.
Man, they the logo. I mean, what else is there to say?
It says it all, right?
He definitely gave everybody fits.
So I think one of the crazy things, though, when we talk Jerry West is, though, we know obviously what an incredible basketball player he was. I think he got inducted into the Hall of Fame in 1980, 79 or 80. So we know obviously what a phenomenal talent he was between the lines. But then he has his second career, and this guy is the architect of like at least two dynasties, right? The Golden State dynasty and then the Shaq Kobe Laker dynasty. So he was the reason that Kobe ended up in LA, right? Because remember, he orchestrated that trade with Charlotte that sent Divac to Charlotte and Kobe with the 13th pick, I believe, to the Lakers. So arguably he's responsible for the arguably greatest player in Lakers history. I'm still gonna go with Magic, but I'm not mad at anyone who says Kobe. Not mad at all. But he's responsible for the arguably greatest Laker in NBA history to become a Laker, right? He pulls off that trade. And then after Shaq moves on and goes to Miami and everywhere else, and Kobe was kind of struggling, even though Kobe was killing, but he had no help. Well, Jerry West helped to orchestrate the deal that sent Pau Gasol to the Lakers. Now Kobe goes to 3 straight finals and wins 2 of them. So he ends up with 5 chips.
Talent knows talent.
Talent knows talent.
Yeah.
Then he ends up working in the Golden State front office, right? So when everybody's concerned about Steph Curry, because remember earlier in his career he had all the injuries and whatnot, everybody's concerned, what are we going to do? We got Monte Ellis, we got another small guard. Jerry West said, yo, let Monte Ellis walk. This dude Steph Curry he's a real deal. So responsible for that, then assisting the Klay Thompson draft, then he assisting getting Kevin Durant there. So like Jerry West has been responsible, I think, for so many amazing moves, and you just watch him, and like the guy is incredible. He may be the best executive of all time. Like he's that good. I'm not gonna go as far as say definitively is. I don't study the front offices, but he may be. He's been responsible for some incredible team building. Your thoughts on that part?
With that percentage, right? Like his work ethic has to be crazy to be 6'3" and put up 42 points, hitting buzzer beaters at the game. He's clutch. That's why he's on. That's why he's on the thing. I'm 1-8 in the finals. Yeah, that's a team sport, but he showed up in all those finals, right?
Yeah,
he played the game, and I think his family, hat go off to his family. I'm pretty sure, the league is mourning him. I don't know what type of player he is, but you can tell that the work ethic was there. He put that work in to get where he's at, and he should be more on the court.
Absolutely. It's wild though to think that he might have been a better executive than player though. Like that's, to me, like that's the wildest part. Like all the stuff he did, and like you just said, man, talent knows talent. Like they could see it.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, I guess that's the easy part, right? Like, but putting that work in, I mean, this guy was a baller, man. Like he balled, he played, and I don't think his winning percentage, because it's still a team sport. Like he never like not showed up on the games that he lost, right? It's just it was a better team, and like you said, it's. I mean, it's before my time, so
same. What we got? We got a comment right there. What's good, Sneed? Good to see you in here, man. Appreciate you, brother. Good to see you. You gonna like this next topic, man. We didn't do the first topic yet because it was kind of slow to start, so we actually just skipped to Porzingis. Now we're paying homage to the logo, as you hear. But this perk LeBron topic, get ready. But yeah, man, this Jerry West. It's amazing though. What is this, in like about 2.5 weeks now? We've lost 2 of the all timers.
Yeah.
Bill Walton and Jerry West. Appreciate you on that, Sneed. Absolutely. I didn't even say it, man. Thank you. If you're watching on Facebook, please make sure you go over to YouTube. Check out the channel, The Format Podcast. Like and subscribe. Really appreciate that. If you're watching on Instagram, like and subscribe. On link is in the bio. So going over to YouTube, like and subscribe. Really appreciate that. All that helps us push the channel out and push the videos out. The YouTube algorithm, all that. And if you're on YouTube and you haven't already, man, you know what time it is. Like and subscribe. All right, so I'm not even going to open up the phone lines for any phone calls on that. That was just like we said, Throwback Thursday. It was originally supposed to be Larry Bird, but sometimes fate has a way of changing your plans, and in this case, they did. So we had to give the logo his due, and looks like it'll be Larry Bird next week because that's my guy. And maybe by this time next week, Jason Tatum will have joined Larry Bird in the pantheon of Celtics champions, but we'll see.
Mr. Brown. So
all right, okay.
If you on hey, tell us who you think gonna win this series, right? If you feel like Dallas gonna win, drop it in the chat. If you feel like Celtics
Definitely.
gonna win, drop that in the chat as well, so we can kind of see where everybody's at and how they feel about this finals we got, because it's definitely a good one.
Well, it might be a good one. it might be over tonight.
Won't be a
so
good one.
so we'll see. We'll see.
Great ones never let us down.
Well, we'll
Only
find out.
Tatum.
Right? No, wow. But I mean, so far you're right. Yo, so real quick before we move on, interesting stat on that, right? Got another crazy stat. Of every NBA player who's ever played in the finals with a minimum of 150 field goal attempts, Jason Tatum has the lowest field goal percentage of all time, 35%. That is wild.
I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised.
You've been telling me from jump, G. You've been
Yeah,
telling
I'm
me
not
from jump. I
surprised.
can't even front on that. I
Yeah,
mean,
I'm not surprised.
I know he hasn't played well in the finals, but I was like, damn, lowest finals percentage of all time, minimum 150 attempts. That's crazy.
At the same time, this could be his redemption year as well, too. So
It
this
could
all
be.
may be water under the bridge,
Yeah.
if he decide to show up.
Yeah. Well, listen, though, but here's the thing, right? I know we digressing a little bit, but we could do that. This is our show. The thing is, you say if he decides to show up, right? But he is showing up. He's just not shooting it well. So it's not like he's not shooting well, but he's not contributing in any other way. He's rebounding, he's assisting, he's defending. You know what I'm saying? Like, where are you on that?
All right. So, I mean, he is the leader of the team, right?
Exactly.
Or is he? He look. It's looking more like Mr. Brown's team.
No, I agree. And I'm not mad at that. You know, it's not that serious. What up, bro? I think the Celtics will win because of defense. I think the Mavs will pull it. Yeah, no, I think they will too. And I think I was telling G earlier, I don't know if you were here for that. I think Kyrie is going to go off tonight. I do. But yeah, we will we'll definitely see. I guess what we got. We got about an hour here before that kicks off. But excuse me, before we get to that, it's about time. We're gonna go ahead and we're gonna do this thing, man. We're gonna go to this Kendrick Perkins and LeBron James thing, and we're gonna have a serious talk about that. Serious talk. All right, let me take this off and let's get to it. Okay, so here's the deal. So I'm gonna warn you in advance right now. If you are a LeBron James fan, you're not gonna like this show. I'm telling you now. If you're a LeBron fan, you're not going to like this show. So get ready. So, according to some of y'all, I'm an old head hater. All right. I never played. That's a fact. I ain't played no kind of high level. I got you. I don't know what I'm talking about since I didn't play. Okay, cool. You know, I just covered Division I basketball. All right, as a journalist, but whatever. And I don't know what I'm talking about. And, you know, I'm never to be taken seriously. Yes, Pam Brown, I'm talking to you. I'm never to be taken seriously. I got you. There's your shout out. I know that's what you wanted. So I got you. Some of y'all on Instagram and some of y'all on Facebook say I wake up every day looking for a reason to hate on another black man. Okay, cool. That's what all y'all tell me, right? That's what they say, right, G? That's what they say. Because, you know, I don't worship LeBron. I don't lick his boots. That's what they say. All right, I got you. Well, I can't wait to hear what all y'all have to say about this lineup I got in store for you. All right. So, you know me a long time, man. when we meet, 06. So that means LeBron's already in the league 3 years when we met each other, right? So you
That's
know what
crazy.
I've been saying about this, huh?
That's crazy.
That is crazy. It went fast, right? Yeah, man. But so I've said for years. So you've been hearing all the stuff I say about LeBron for years. I've said for years, LeBron is not, N-O-T, not what his fans, what the sports media, what Clutch Sports have tried to sell you. He's not. His work does not stand on its own. So let me go with the obligatory, you know what we got to do. Has LeBron James had an all-time great career? Yes, absolutely. No question about it. I'm not being facetious. He has. But two things can be true. It is also, while it's one of the greatest careers ever, it's one of the most contrived careers ever. Fact. G. And you let me make sure I say this, G. You my man and all that, but if I'm wilding, you need to tell me. You don't gotta agree just because you on here with me. All right. And so I'll always want you to keep it a buck with me, right? Because here's the deal. All these years, most people have not been telling the truth about LeBron, and that just is what it is, right? But if you're paying attention and if you listen carefully, they all will eventually tell on themselves. We know this whole LeBron thing is just a hustle. We know it's a con. He is not the GOAT. I say it again, he's not the GOAT. He never was the GOAT, no matter what he tries to tell you, no matter what Rich Paul tried to tell you. He knows he's not the GOAT, which is why he always got to try to tell you, and Rich Paul got to try to convince you he shouldn't be in the GOAT discussion. Yeah, I'm saying it. He shouldn't even be there. I know. I'm just hating again, right? I'm just hating again, right? So, G, before I really get cooking with all this, bro, you tell me, am I wilding with this topic? Am I wilding? What are your thoughts? Don't even first. What are your thoughts on LeBron, where he stands in the all-time discussion? I want to hear this.
I'll say this: LeBron is probably one or two players that dunked on all 32 teams in his career. It's probably one of. I mean, and I'm talking about some career-ending dunks. So I understand the fad, right? He's a hell of a player, right? Bar none. I think his off-the-court antics and how he look at the game, and the he has so many nicknames that it kind of take away from his play on the court. Right? He's still what's that? 4-10.
4-6. 4-6 in the finals.
4-6.
Yeah.
4-6.
Worst finals record of any MVP.
Well, the logo had a pretty bad one.
Yeah, but he was never an MVP, so that's where that comes
in. The finals MVP.
Right.
He's the only player to get that with an L. But
facts. So yeah, and I will never make an excuse for losing, right? You can give reasons. I'll never make an excuse and try to gloss it over. But let me ask you this now, G. Be honest with me, bro. You're my brother, man. Am I hating on this dude or am I telling it how it is? I feel like I'm hating.
You only speak facts.
I tried to.
Yeah. You only speak facts.
All right, cool. So let's do a little background now. All right. So I've always talked about how much and how LeBron James and Clutch Sports try to influence everything so that they could push the narrative in a way that no other all-time great before him has ever done, right? That's a fact. And that for me is a knock if we're talking the GOAT argument, right? Now, if you got to do all this extra stuff, not really feeling it. That's a big knock for me. Not that serious. These are French top 10 at best to me. Yeah, I feel the same way about that. People think you're crazy because they look at the numbers and they're like, how can you say that? But to your point, and this is excellent right here, the second half of this, there's always caveats to his accomplishments. And I feel that. Like, for instance, let me digress a little bit. G just said he's one of the few players to dunk on all 32 teams, right? But once he came in the league, right? Shaq was at the back end of his prime, and there was Ben Wallace and there was Tim Duncan. So Tim Duncan was still young, so he was in his prime, right? But now, if you look at it and now you compare that to Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan had to play against Mark Eaton, top 10 all-time shot blocker. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, top 10 all-time shot blocker. Hakeem Olajuwon, top 10 all-time shot blocker, number 1. Mount Mutombo, number 2 all-time shot blocker. Shaquille O'Neal, young and in his prime and athletic, right? Alonzo Mourning, all these guys top 10 all-time shot blockers. Greatest big man era ever. And Michael Jordan did not have the benefit of attacking the rim in a spread floor where it was, 4 out, where everybody was around the three-point line to make space. He was playing when there was real power forwards, the paint was packed, and he was going over the top and legitimately banging on dudes. Go back and look at how many of LeBron James's dunk highlights weren't really on people. Now, he caught Nurkic, he caught KG terribly. That was the call, I think. Kevin Harlan was like, no regard for human life. And that was a great one. But for the most part, LeBron James has had the benefit of playing in the era that was devoid of elite shot blockers and playing in an era where it was 4 and 5 out basketball. So the floor was incredibly spread. And he had the benefit, playing in the era where you have the defensive 3-second rule, right? So all that. What up, Mark? What's good, big bro? I think you missed it when G was talking about how LeBron is one of the few dudes who dunked on every team in the league, and I'm explaining why. Yes, he dunked on every team in the league, but it's not the same. But get ready, Mark, because this is for you too, Laker fan. But anyway, all right. So I was saying the fact that him and Clutch try to influence everything the way no other all-time great ever had to, that's a big knock for me, right? But what else have I been saying? His teammates will tell you the truth. The media will eventually tell you the truth. LeBron is always got to blame someone else. It's always someone else's fault. But we'll get to that. I got it all lined up for you. Trust me. So, G, let me ask you again, bro. Am I hating too much? Because I know it's a lot of people. I mean, they might not be listening now, but when they listen to the replay, they're going to say I'm hating and I'm an old head and I wake up every morning looking to hate on another black man. Am I hating too much? Because I'm just getting started, bro.
I say go, bro.
All right.
Let's see what you got.
All right, I'm getting it rolling. All right, so I mean, it's like people say all this stuff, but then I always ask, and Mark, you know this, I always ask the same question: what did I say that wasn't true?
Tell me when I'm telling lies.
You know what I'm saying? Tell me when I'm telling lies. Get ready, you're gonna hear a lot of that. All right, boom. So let's start with this: Ray Allen. He's a top 10 shooting guard of all time. He's a Hall of Famer, right? No question about that, correct? Has one of the biggest made shots in NBA Finals history, saved LeBron James and got him that third title. Okay, cool. Now, how you feel about that is how you feel about that. But the fact is, Ray Allen doesn't make that shot. That series is over, and the Spurs win another one. Okay, cool. Now, why am I bringing up Ray Allen? Because Ray Allen, he played against back end of his prime, Michael Jordan. He came into the league, Ray Allen, in 1996. So that means he was there for Michael Jordan's second three-peat. Played against him for all that time, right? Cool. Played against Kobe. Kobe came in the league in 1996 as well. So that means Ray Allen played against prime Kobe. He played against early Kobe. He played against late Kobe. Cool. He also played against prime LeBron James, correct? He played against prime LeBron James. All right, cool. He also played with prime LeBron James. Reason I'm saying all this, right? So that means Ray Allen has that vantage point. He knows who the greatest of all time is. He knows who's the carbon copy of the greatest of all time. He knows who's the guy that says he's the greatest of all time. And when they asked Ray Allen, who's your top 5 players of all time? Your starting 5. I'm sorry. Who's your starting 5? All-time starting 5. Guess who wasn't in it? Guess who didn't make the cut? LeBron James. He didn't make the cut. Ray Allen has LeBron James coming off the bench. Don't believe me? You could look that up.
Tell me when I'm telling lies.
There we go. All right, so that's one. But get ready, LeBron fanboys, because I got some more. I'm about to give you what you asked for. No Diddy. I got you. LeBron talked on early episodes of the Mind the Game podcast, right? Which I thought was going to be about X's and O's. And I did learn some stuff, so I'm not going to front on that. But he talked, and one of the things he talked about was the whole super team concept and blah, 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 right? And on one of those early episodes, he made excuses for his loss in 2011, and he talked about the minimums who didn't do what they were supposed to do, right? He called his former teammates minimums. So let's hear, again, remember what I said earlier. His teammates are going to tell you the truth. So one, I just talked about Ray Allen. He already told you the truth. Now let's hear from another former teammate. I'm not going to tell you what he said. I'm going to let you hear it. Check it out.
I'm taking it as he's talking about me.
Yeah.
You talk about me, brother.
I'm saying those are the complimentary players on the Heat that year. My guy, Eddie House, that year averaged 17 and a half minutes a game, 6.5 points a game.
I didn't get enough minutes.
And shot 39% from behind the arc. So there you go.
Those are
But
horrible
all
numbers.
these years later, almost 15 years later now, Eddie, and to think that you guys didn't win an NBA championship, not because LeBron didn't get the job done or Wade didn't get the job done or Bosh didn't, but you didn't.
Okay,
That's what he's saying.
What I would say is this.
Yeah.
If we're going to point the fingers,
Let's point it.
we'll point the finger at the fourth quarter, collapsed every game that we had. Actually, you know what? It was 1-1, game 2. We were up. We collapsed in the fourth quarter. They tied it up. We win game 3. We go up 2-1.
Right.
We didn't win another game. So if we're going to, we're going to play the blame game.
Let's play it.
I wasn't out on the court.
Right. Who was on the court?
The man saying that the other guys wasn't getting
Was
it done.
LeBron on the court in the fourth quarter?
I don't know. You know what? He was, but he was. Hey, he was, but he wasn't.
There you go. So that's another teammate telling the truth now, right? Okay, Mark. So when he says minimums, he's referring to their pay. So cool, he's referring to their pay. But why would somebody be a minimum contract on a championship team, right? Because they're not one of the best players, right? So either way, he's referring to their pay, but he's using them, the minimums, the guys who are not the best players on a championship team, as an excuse for why he disappeared, couldn't get the job done. But let's move on, all right? Gee, before we move on, man, what you think of what Eddie House had to say there, bro?
Who is Eddie House?
Eddie House is
Yeah, I know who he is.
I
I
know
know
who he is. Bro, Eddie
I
House
know
is
who he
champion, bro.
Yeah,
You know
role
who-
player.
You know who he won that chip with, though, don't you?
Yeah.
But real talk though, if you LeBron, you the GOAT. Like, when have we ever heard Michael Jordan blaming some playoff loss on a quote unquote minimum? What's up with that?
Yeah, I mean, we all seen that game. We all seen that series. And yeah, he just didn't show up.
Mm-hmm.
He choked like Tatum chokes.
You know what though? I can't even say nothing. Yo, look, man, you got the Laker fan all excited right now when you said who Eddie House, man. Don't worry about it. I'm loving what's happened to the Lakers right now. They're in purgatory, and I'm loving it. Yeah, you heard me, Mark. But
5 years. He'll be back in 5 years.
Right. He mad right now. But yeah. So, all right, that's cool though. So Eddie House, he an old head hater who never he played, and he's a champion. So he knows what he's talking about. He played multiple years in the NBA for multiple teams. So he's an old head hater who didn't play, who don't know that. No, he's not, G? All right, my bad. All right, we can move on, though. We can move on, and we'll keep it going.
I think he had every right to, for his rebuttal. He had every right.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Because the onus should have been on LeBron and not pointing the finger at, role players.
Yeah.
So.
There you go. Great point. It's not that serious. That's a fact. There we go. But that's cool though. We gonna keep it rolling because there's a lot more. All right. Here's another former teammate of LeBron James. See, this is what I love because, like I say, all you got to do is sit back and wait. His teammates, himself, the media, they all gonna tell the truth. So check this one out. Here's another former LeBron teammate.
It's like, honestly, it's a gift and a curse with playing with Bron. Like, I love Bron to death, and I love playing on this team because for me, I feel like I thrive more under the pressure. But a lot of guys don't like it because, it can go one of two ways. It's either what did you not do to help him win, and who else didn't not help him win,
So this is the guy who won 2 chips with LeBron, and he telling you what it is. He knows what it is. All right. Yeah. So like, they're always gonna tell you. Bruce Harrington, what's good, my man? My name's Bruce too, so already got love for you right there. No, I wasn't. I was being facetious when I was saying that Eddie House was a hater. I wasn't actually calling him a hater. I was just being silly because that's the type of stuff that LeBron fans say. They say that anybody who don't worship LeBron or disagrees with him or points out his flaws is a hater and an old head and they don't know what they're talking about and blah blah blah. So yeah, that's what
Bruce,
I meant.
Bruce, what's up, big dog? I see you.
Oh, that's your man? That's your homeboy?
Yeah, that's my guy right there. Yeah.
That's what's up. All right. So yeah, all right. So now we had Ray Allen first, then we had Eddie House, then we had what's my man name? J.R. Smith, right? So we got a number of people now, teammates. Oh, so check this out. Remember, I see you, Sergeant Hitchman. What's good? I see you. All right. So you're listening. Don't turn away because I'm your boy's getting the dose of the truth right now. Don't turn away from this channel. All right, but anyway, make sure you like and subscribe to the channel on YouTube, y'all. Appreciate that.
One more thing, right? Before you switch.
Yeah.
So with JR, right?
Mm-hmm.
Remember, he the one that tweeted like, "Don't fall for the trap." Remember that?
Oh, facts. You're right. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
he was like, "Don't fall for it."
yeah,
I
great
mean,
point. Great point.
yeah. It's crazy that LeBron is still there, but Dan Hurley was in prime position, and that could have
Yeah.
been the reason why he changed his mind. He might have had a conversation with him, because a lot of times when
Mm-hmm.
it's almost like you're going for a job interview, right? You don't know
Mm-hmm.
what's going on, but if you get that person to sit down and talk to you that knows that organization, they might sway you a different way. Not saying that that's what happened, but it
Right.
could possibly be.
That's a great point. I forgot to even talk about that. So yeah, G sent me a tweet yesterday or the day before. J.R. Smith tweeted it out on Friday when this whole Dan Hurley thing became a point, and he tweeted at Dan Hurley, his unofficial account, but at Dan Hurley, don't fall for it. So it's like, what's that about? He's saying don't go coach LeBron, because any college coach with a chance to coach the Lakers going to jump at that. So what else could it be? Yo, G, your man Bruce is talking greasy right now. What's going on? Let me hear this.
He know
Because I
what it
played
is.
against you. I know you was nice. I know you was
Yeah,
nice.
he know
I
what
ain't
it
gonna
is.
front.
He
I
know what
couldn't
it
deal
is.
with
That's my
you.
dog, man. We go back to the sandbox. He know what it is.
All right.
Yeah.
No doubt. Okay, so let's move on to the next point. So we had I mentioned Ray Allen, Eddie House, J.R. Smith. Now let's remember last year Mario Chalmers. I did a show on that too. All this stuff you can probably find on my channel. Just go back and check. I'm referencing a lot of stuff I talked about before, but I'm putting it all together for a reason now. But last year Mario Chalmers, he got caught on wax saying that. And remember, he played with LeBron for 4 years in Miami now. He got caught on wax talking about how opponents didn't fear LeBron the same way they feared MJ. So that's another former teammate who's telling the truth. Nino, what's good, my man? Great to see you. Great to see you. Bron saying the Heat team wasn't a perfect fit. That's why the next year they went and got shooters to spread the floor. But it's almost never a perfect fit for LeBron. If you the GOAT, why do you need so much? Why does everything have to be perfect for you? That's what we keep getting back to. Everything got to be perfect for you if you the GOAT. That ain't gonna make it. But all right, cool. So that's what? How many teammates we mentioned there? That's 5 teammates who apparently are old head haters who never played and don't know what they're talking about, right?
Tell me when I'm telling lies.
Right? I mean, that's what y'all tell me. That's what y'all tell me. All right, cool. So about 3 weeks ago, I did a show on this channel and it's titled He's Losing Control. Again, you could check that out. And I talked about how people in the sports media are coming out one after the next and they telling on LeBron, right? So this was an interesting one. I didn't even mention this, but I remember finding that out. Oh, here you go, Mark. That's winning in the NBA. No, man, nobody ever had to do it like this dude did it. You and me talk about this all the time. That's not winning. But anyway, okay. What you got, Bruce? People fear Braun. Why you think Draymond? So, all right, I'm gonna give you my opinion on this. That's not about fearing LeBron. That's about they got jerked by the league on that one, because that Draymond Green suspension was straight BS. We know it because, and I did a video on this as well. I actually did a short. If you go back and watch when Draymond got suspended in the finals against LeBron, here's the thing. If you go back and watch, LeBron could have stepped around Draymond to the left. He could have stepped around Draymond to the right. He deliberately stepped over him and put his nuts on the back of that man's neck. And I have long said, if I'm Draymond, I'd have been suspended for a year because I'd have got up and flipped LeBron when he put his nuts on my neck. That wouldn't have made it. That would not have made it. So he flicks his arm out. He gets the suspension because the league knew that if they didn't suspend Draymond right there, that series was over in 5. Everybody knew that. The what if scenarios can be accounted for. You and the what ifs, man. If you can get the best team possible together, why wouldn't you do it? Yeah, organizations do it. Players don't need to do it unless they're running from competition. Here's your clip. I know you love it.
You play to win the game.
Yes, you play to win the game. All right, but anyway, let's move along here because I got some more, right? So, all right, cool. So I did the show, and I was talking about how the sports media people are coming out one by one, and they're basically telling the truth on LeBron. One of these, this was interesting. Rick Bucher, longtime NBA scribe, he was actually talking about how Clutch Sports sent him an email, I think, during last season, detailing why LeBron James should be the MVP. Like, that's absurd. This is what I keep talking about. Why does why does his own work not stand on its own? Because it's not good enough, right? So he got to do all this other stuff. All right, cool. Then you got John Sally on Gil's Arena, did a show about this too, talking about the triangle, him and Rashad McCants, and how LeBron might be the best player ever, and he never had the benefit of playing with a great coach in his system. Okay, I'm not going to get into all that. I'll just leave it at that's total nonsense. But anyway, that was about 2 weeks ago. So check this. Mind you, John Sally said about 2 weeks ago, LeBron might be the greatest player ever. He said that on Gil's Arena. Cool. But guess what? 11 days ago, he was on the Dan Patrick show right around the time that the Larry Bird Museum was being opened up in Indiana. And Dan Patrick asked John Sally something. So remember, he was on Gil's Arena 2 weeks ago. He says LeBron might be the greatest player ever. Then he's on the Dan Patrick show 11 days ago. He answers a question from Dan Patrick. Check this out.
I'm going to give you Larry Bird in his prime or LeBron in his prime.
Larry Bird.
That's a quick answer.
Do you remember? I know I have nightmares. Do you have nightmares?
Yes, I was there in the 80s.
Yes.
I was there.
Me too.
I was there covering. Well, I was covering the Celtics. You were trying to cover the Celtics.
All right, G. So before I go in on that, let me get your thoughts on it.
Larry over LeBron. Ooh, that's crazy.
Yeah, that's no question.
Yeah,
you're right.
That's crazy.
Yeah, Larry Bird.
Yeah.
Okay,
he's a finisher. You're talking about a
Bird.
finisher, and then just I can't even call him a playmaker, but for the longest time, I thought LeBron was a pass first type player, and so when he won the scoring title or the scoring champion, the all-time point scored for a player, I wanted to audit it, right? Because for the longest, I've always seen him pass the ball to other players. Just my 2 cents. You take it with a grain of salt. But
no. I feel you. I'm not mad.
Yeah.
Like I'm not.
I felt like he always needed finishers throughout his whole career because when it came to it, he wasn't closing games out. And that's what we was accustomed to when we start looking at the greats like Michael Jordan, Larry Bird. Those were the guys that either, if they did take the pass, it was because they was being triple teamed, double teamed, right? But it wasn't often, right? But that's just my 2 cents,
So no, I respect that. I respect that. Bruce Harrington. So I see a comment here, and here's the thing. What I'm going to say about that is obviously LeBron James is 100, 1,000 times more physically gifted than Larry Bird. But both of them in their prime, how many dudes you think Bird faced from freaking, 6th grade through league MVP to champion that were way more physically gifted than him that people thought would destroy them, and he ended up destroying them? Like, you got to look at it that way. And here's the other thing, right? Bird is start working out LeBron, and he start talking to him, and LeBron is start whining and crying. So there's that. We know he's mentally weak. That's a big problem. That's a big problem. It's not that serious. LeBron is going for parasite to pariah. He's depleted every organization. Lakers too. Fact, Lakers can't even get a coach because nobody want to deal with this guy. But you know what? I don't have any reporting on that. That's speculation. But Lakers, can't even get a coach. Y'all got less than a month till the draft. You don't have a coach. You got no future. Nobody knows what's going to happen to you. I love it. I love it. Let's go Celtics. Anyway, let me be a little more mature here. But folks are tired of him now, leaving him hanging. The truth is the antidote to him. That's a fact. It's not that serious. See, you read my mind, bro. Most mentally weak all-time great period. That's a fact. Oh, don't worry, we gonna get you. We on the roll. I got you. All right, cool. They got talking about this topic, and I didn't even think that was an option. But the more I think about it, as much as I hate to say it, I think that would be a really good hire. As much as I don't want anything good for the Lakers at all, I think it'd be a fantastic hire. Sam Cassell He's a really good coach. But then I don't want a guy who's got a ring with the Celtics coaching the Lakers. I don't like that. Yeah. But for the Lakers, it would be a really good move. All right. So back to John Sally and back to my bad. Let me get that off of there. Back to John Sally and Dan Patrick, right? So here's the deal. If Bird, according to John Sally, is better than LeBron, we just heard him say that, not my opinion, then how can LeBron be the best ever? Meanwhile, John Sally makes these comments within 3 days of each other. So if all this was in the same week, John Sally made those comments. You see what I'm talking about when I talk about this whole LeBron thing and the media and these dudes knowing who they're talking to and what they're doing? They're acting like the receipts aren't out there. This is why I get so irritated. But there's more. There's a lot more.
Tell me when I'm telling lies.
All right, so ESPN Unsportsmanlike with Chris Canty, Michelle Smallman, Evan Cohen, excuse me. Yesterday, they're discussing the Dan Hurley situation. Lakers can't even get a coach. This is fantastic. I love this. I can't even front. I love this. But anyway, that's for you, Laker Nation. Big Mark. I love it. But anyway, they were discussing this Dan Hurley thing, right? And here's what Chris Canty, another Laker fan and member of the sports media and a Super Bowl champion. Why am I bringing up he's a Super Bowl champion? Because he's not some random guy who never played anything at a high level, who don't know what he's talking about. He know what it takes to be a winner in the greatest sport in this country, right? So he's a Super Bowl champion. He's a member of the sports media. He's a Lakers fan. Let's hear what Chris Canty had to say.
He wants to be the damn head coach. Okay, so he wants to be the head coach and he wants to be the star player.
And how do you
which
do
is
that?
a part of the problem. And here's the thing: the guy that said he's chasing ghosts, that he's chasing rings. We're going to sit back and we're going to ask ourselves, why has a guy that's been able to have this kind of productivity in his age 20 season when he's in his 40s? Why is this guy only got 4 championships, even though he's been to as many finals as he's been to? And we're going to land back on, well, look at the coaches that he had to play for. And then we're going to ask ourselves, was it the coaches that he had to play for, or were they the coaches that he hand selected that didn't necessarily work out? For the guy that has the most perfectly curated career of any athlete that we've ever seen, I'm supposed to believe that he's been stuck with all of these coaches that are just so bad? Or am I supposed to believe that he wants it a certain way and he wants a coach that's going to acquiesce to exactly what he wants? And then when you look at all of the coaches that were strong enough to stand up to him when it comes to their overall basketball acumen, this guy willingly left.
Bingo.
So you said it doesn't look bad on LeBron? I'm with Smalls. I think this reflects poorly on LeBron.
Oh, that's another member of the sports media, an athlete who played at a high level, a champion who has something to say, telling the truth about LeBron? Man. Yo, I appreciate you, Bruce. Good looking out. Yeah, Mark. Mark, real talk. I'm sick of this, bro. I told you earlier I got something for him. I'm real tired of this, bro. Most of these commentators disingenuous with their takes about LeBron. So here's the crazy thing. It's not that serious. Why this bugs me out so much is that it's one thing if you're disingenuous and you hold to it, like a Nick Wright, right? Or a Shannon Sharp. But when the receipts are out there and we can very easily go retrieve that, we can go find it in print. We could go find it on YouTube. We can hear your voice, hear you say these things. Y'all act like people don't have memories. This is why I say like LeBron got some type of, he like Debo, he got mind control, right? Remember Smokey? I got mind control over Debo, right? That's what LeBron is, but he don't have that over me. I'm not having it. All right, cool. So I guess Chris Canty is another old head hater, right? He's not an athlete and he never played anything he shouldn't be taken seriously or given him. No, damn. Oh, my Super Bowl champion. Okay. All right. Okay. Whatever. Right. No. I know what it is. He wakes up every day to hate on another black man. Right, G? That's what Chris Canty does. Right.
Funny.
I'm saying that's what they tell me, G. That's what they tell me. They tell me that all the time. I mean, that's what y'all say, right? You know, y'all love that. Well, I agree with those. You know, Mark, it's real funny, man. When I tell you all this stuff, you're not trying to hear it, but it's ill how you agree with it when other people say it. But that's cool. I guess it's like kids, you know? Like when you try to tell your kids something, they don't want to hear it. But like when the cool uncle or something tells them, Mark knows this, the cool uncle tells them the exact same thing. It sounds different, right? I don't know. But it's all good, though. Moving right along. All right, so Kendrick Perkins, here's the deal, which really is what brought me into all of this whole thing. and really made me decide to just go ahead and give it to you all raw, right? So Kendrick Perkins is a champion with the Celtics. He's a former LeBron teammate. He's a former friend and advocate. Notice I said former friend, but all of a sudden, that's all gone awry. And why is that going awry? Because he's been honest about LeBron James. And apparently LeBron James sent Clutch Sports after Kendrick Perkins. Wow, what? Never thought we would hear that. All right, cool. So let's go ahead and hear some stuff that had to do with this whole thing, right? So about a month ago, Kendrick Perkins, you could tell he really was like irritated and fed up with a lot of stuff. So he said something on First Take. Check this out.
And Shannon, you can fix your body language because I'm here for it right now. And here's the thing, right? When it comes down to LeBron, Michael Wilbon was 100% right. It has never been accountability when it comes down to Bron when he have losing seasons or get eliminated. We could go all the way back to the Miami days. When he got eliminated, he came on the mic and he talked about how he's going to go off and go off ride into his vacation and live his wonderful life, and everybody else got to go back to living a miserable life. When I think about LeBron James and I think about this situation in particular, it looks bad on him with Darvin Ham. Number one, think about last year where the Lakers were at the All-Star break. Rob Pelinka make a couple of trades. He bring in Rui Hachimura. He bring in D'Lo. Okay, cool. LeBron James was out majority of that second part of that season. Darvin Ham coached his behind off with Anthony Davis leading the way to get them into the play-in, into the postseason, and into the Western Conference Finals. Okay, coming to this season, LeBron James at the trade deadline was sending so many subliminals for Rob Pelinka to make a move because he knew that the Lakers did not have enough. He knew that he wanted a DeJounte Murray to come over, but Rob Pelinka held on to Austin Reeves and D'Angelo Russell because he knew that in the Western Conference, he needed guys on the perimeter that was going to defend. So Darvin Ham he got the most out of what he had. And when you think about this roster, everybody kept saying, well, he's playing D'Lo and he's playing Austin Reeves so many minutes together. Why? Because they need spacing. And that was his only options. At the end of the day, man, I hate to say it, but I believe this in my soul right now. I wish LeBron James will retire. Not because I don't want to see more of LeBron James, not because I don't appreciate LeBron James, but I honestly believe deep down inside, the more LeBron James continue to play the game of basketball, the more it's going to hurt his legacy and the more it's going to continue to hurt his GOAT argument.
Wow. So this is one of the biggest LeBron James bootlicker / sycophants in the media, right? This is this dude, remember a couple months ago, him and Shannon on First Take arguing about who's been on LeBron's bandwagon longer. I'm using the term bandwagon because I don't want to say what I really want to say. But they were literally arguing about who was the bigger, LeBron jockey, let's say that, right? So they arguing about that, but all of a sudden he found God. He's telling the truth now. Very interesting how that happens, right? So he's telling the truth here. LeBron don't like it, and LeBron sends Rich Paul to talk to him. That's crazy, right?
Tell me when I'm telling lies.
Right? So we got all that going on. Then you got LeBron trying to manipulate the whole thing with Bronny and the Lakers and what team he's going to go to and blah, blah, blah. Now, I totally get it. As a father, you want the best for your children. I get it. I'm a father. I have 2 children. I want the best for them. But if you grease it and they don't earn it on their own merit, they're never going to appreciate it, and it's not going to be the same. And again, I've said this time and time again. I don't truly believe that whole thing is about Bronny. It's about LeBron because he's the biggest egomaniac we've ever seen. It's about this is what it would be, right? Imagine LeBron James in his 22nd NBA season, or 21st, whichever. His 22nd NBA season. He's still on the floor. He's out there. He's like a kid. He's playing with his son. We've never seen anyone play at this high level this late in their career and play with their son. And look, he's having so much joy. And look, he's coaching up Bronny on the floor. Blah blah blah. Right? It's about LeBron, a way to keep himself in the limelight. It's not about Bronny. He don't care, right? Where there's smoke, there's fire. He feels like he's above everybody. I'm starting to feel disdain for you. Starting to feel disdain for LeBron? Okay, all right. Well, you know what? Everybody come around at different times. I've been feeling disdain for this dude for years because I saw this way back what he was doing. When they speak the truth about LeBron, they seem to speak more cogently. You know what? It's not that. You're right. You're right, because when they're on their nonsense, you're like, what the hell are these people talking about? But when they're telling the truth, all of a sudden it all makes sense. That's a great point, brother. All right, so but we got more. We're not done yet. Oh no, we're not done yet. All right, so we find out that LeBron James unfollows Kendrick Perkins on Twitter, king of passive aggressive, right? So K Perk got something to say about it. All right, cool. As a matter of fact, I'm sorry, I jumped ahead. So what is it, 2 weeks ago when or a week and a half ago when the Mavs clinched the West and Kyrie was getting all his flowers, and deservedly so. LeBron was on his show with JJ Redick, Mind the Game again. And, he's making his comments about how great Kyrie is, and that's awesome. He was giving him love. But then he did what LeBron does. Oh, I'm so mad I'm not his running mate anymore. What? You mad you're not his running mate anymore? You try to get the dude traded. What are you talking about, bro? But as usual, you got to make it about you. And here's what Kendrick Perkins had to say about those comments.
Here we go. Here we go again. Bron weaseling his way into somebody else's moment. Let somebody else. This is not about you. Your team is at home. This is about the Mavs and the Celtics. But yet you're so mad and disappointed that you're not Kyrie Irving running mate no more. Here we go again.
So, you know what I found interesting is not just that he told the truth about the situation. It's that, listen to the verbiage he used, right? I'm a communication grad, right? I'm a writer. This is what I do. But listen, words matter. Listen to the words he used. He didn't say try to slide into somebody else's moment. He used the term weasel. When you say something like he tried to weasel in, that means you got disdain. Like Bruce said, you got disdain. You have a lack of respect for someone. You're speaking to their character as well as what they're physically doing. He tried to weasel in to somebody's moments. We got to listen to stuff like that. Yeah, definitely. We got to listen to stuff like that when we say, when people use certain language. All right. So all that stuff is important.
Tell me when I'm telling lies.
All right. So then we hear LeBron James has, like I said, he unfollowed Kendrick Perkins on Twitter, which like, come on, man, or X or whatever we want to call it. Matter of fact, I saw a post on X the other day by Elon Musk, and it was saying, like, I guess he was taking a poll on whether or not people wanted it to go back to Twitter in terms of the branding. But anyway, it would be smart to go back to Twitter since tweet is actually a verb now. You can't X something, you can tweet something, right? But anyway, let's hear what Perk had to say about LeBron James unfollowing him.
Imagine unfollowing me on Twitter, but you still got to wake up and watch me on TV every day because I ain't going nowhere anytime soon. That's number one. Number two, I think LeBron James got sensitive over the last couple weeks because I've been calling him out or have to speak on certain things that he may disagree with, like the firing of Darvin Ham or the coaching search for the Lakers, or even having to touch on the Bronny James situation when it comes down to dealing with the draft. At the end of the day, everyone on this television, including USA, because you and I over the last 3 years, and Molly, you can contest to this, we have been going back and forth, and name me somebody, probably other than Shannon, that has been coming on here lobbying and defending for LeBron James like I have been on the basketball side of things.
That's totally true.
And a few times that I disagree with you, you get in your feelings, and you don't pick up the phone and hit me up or send me a text. And you know the disappointing part about it is that I get a call or text from Rich Paul. Bron, I've been knowing you since 1999, brother. We played AAU basketball together. We played against each other in AAU basketball. We played in the McDonald's All-American game together. We was in the same draft. Like, you have my phone number. Like, if you had a problem with anything I said, and we could have picked up the phone and had a conversation. But instead, you took to the pub. You knew the world was going to see it eventually that you unfollowed me because they have all these stalkers that have their stuff on alert that I don't know how, like, we're living in weird times.
Yo, Perk is tired of it, bro. Perk say, I'm done with this. I'm gonna tell you how it is. So I love what I'm seeing here. And again, it gets back to my original premise. Give it enough time, LeBron, his teammates, and the media are going to eventually tell the truth. I did a show a while back called He Always Ends Up Proving Me Right. And he always does. And now we're seeing it. All this stuff that you're hearing right now is all the same stuff I've been called a hater for all these years, right? I was just ahead of my time with it. But that's cool, because guess what? We got more. I'm not done yet. All right, cool. So Michael Wilbon, well-respected sports journalist, writer, columnist for the Washington Post. I grew up on the Washington Post. I used to read Wilbon and Kornheiser all the time. Respected writer for many, many years, since I was a kid and before that. Respected NBA scribe, etc. Covered a lot of different things. All right, cool. So Wilbon had some comments to make. This was immediately following the Darvin Ham firing. So let's hear what Michael Wilbon, another member, respected member, mind you, not some fringe guy like myself, of the sports media, had to say. Let's check that out.
You know what? I'm angry. I've known Darvin Ham for a long time. And you're right. He's a great guy. And he's a pretty damn good coach. Because he took a team that had done nothing the year before, missed the playoffs. And last year they got to the conference finals with him. And everybody had praise for him, including LeBron and Anthony Davis. And now all of a sudden I'm talking specifically to the two of them now. They blame him. Their public comments are inadequate. Let me just say this. If you want to be the GOAT, you want to tell everybody you're the GOAT, you're the greatest player of all time, you want to have it on podcasts, you want to have it, then take accountability like one. Do that. There's a social media thing out there now with Kobe Bryant and Michael Jordan. It shows them after they lost in a series. And it shows the determination. It shows them saying, nope, we weren't good enough. I wasn't good enough. There's been some of that, but there hasn't been nearly enough. If you're the GOAT, you do that. You don't blame this cryptically or backhandedly on Darvin Ham. I don't want to hear from anybody in a Laker uniform that the primary problem was Darvin Ham. Yes, LeBron and Anthony Davis were great in that series, but they weren't good enough against Denver. So take that on. GOAT carries responsibility. I don't see it in the firing of Darvin Ham. So go handpick somebody. They're not getting T. Lue. If you're the owner of the Clippers and you got way more money than the Lakers and just as much ego, you ain't letting T. Lue walk across when you got a new stadium and you got stars. You don't need them to go to him to go to the Lakers. This is infuriating that the hand is behind this move, Frank. It's just intellectually lazy and unaccountable. And those two guys are too great. They're Hall of Famers. You got to be better than that.
That's another one, right? Mike Wilbon. I don't think in all the years I've been watching PTI or listening to him on ESPN or reading his stuff, I don't know that I've ever heard him go in on a superstar of LeBron's caliber like that. Gee, have you? I can't hear you, bro.
Yeah, no, I never heard anybody talk about Kobe, Mike, or anybody else. The way they talking about LeBron and his off the court antics of playing GM. He probably should fire his PR rep.
He need to do something.
Yeah.
You need to do something. It's not that serious, bro. This is what it takes when you're dealing with these people, bro. This is what I'm trying to tell you. If I could show you my G seen some of my comments, man. If I could show you this stuff, you'd be like, wow. But this is what it takes when you're dealing with these people. And I guarantee you, once I cut this up, put it out there, what have you, I'm still going to see comments and people are going to tell me I'm a hater. I'm just trying to tear a black man down and all this other nonsense, and I'm lying and I'm making stuff up. I'm like, I'm lying and you hearing it coming out of their mouths? But, this is the power that LeBron James has over these people. I'm trying to tell you. But this is why, to your point, I come with the receipts. That's what I do.
Yeah, he's definitely leaving a stain on the game by stepping outside of if he did more on the court, he wouldn't have to worry about who his coach was.
Exactly. He wouldn't have to worry about any of this. But the fact is, he knows he's not what he says he is. That's why he got to do all this. He knows it. He knows it.
I think his time is up.
Yeah.
Coming to an end. Yeah.
Must see Last Dance. MJ wasn't liked. But the difference is, though, the reason that people had an issue with MJ is because he was a taskmaster. And that taskmaster yielded results, right? So LeBron doing all this, I could see, Bruce, that you're a LeBron guy, but you're frustrated by what I'm showing you right now and what you're hearing. And what you're trying to do is find a way, because I see your other comments, but I see you're still, you don't want to turn against your boy. And I get it. That is what it is. I deal with that constantly. But the fact is, this is why I'm not just sitting here telling you. This is why I'm letting you hear it from these people. So you know that I'm not making stuff up and I'm not just hating. You know what I'm saying? So that's what that is. But I respect your opinion though. All right, so this is the last thing that I'm gonna give on this particular topic, right? So remember, this all started out with Kendrick Perkins and all the nonsense between him and LeBron, but really it's just a continuation of a drum I've been banging for a while now about how you're seeing at the end of his career, you're seeing players, you're seeing media members, and everybody is out here telling the truth about this guy. And it's the same stuff I've been saying for years. So what I'm gonna do is give you a final montage I put together of media people and they're telling the truth about LeBron. All right, so check this out.
My recommendation, the next Laker coach, and out of the 8 or 9 names that I've heard, his name wasn't on there, is make LeBron the coach. I got nothing but love and respect for LeBron. I love him. I think he's one of the greatest players that ever played this game. But it's obvious to me, at least, that he's making a lot of decisions that's going on in this organization.
No doubt.
From a coaching standpoint to a player standpoint. So if you're going to allow him to make those decisions, sit on the bench and make those decisions as well. Be the head coach. JJ Redick.
You mean player coach,
be
right?
Player head coach.
Yeah. Well, it's happened before.
Go back to the Bill Russell days.
Absolutely.
Okay?
Lenny Wilkins.
Yeah.
We've got certain veteran status in our game that are on a lot of people's Mount Rushmore that like to deflect and point fingers at others. Here's a 22-year-old saying, this is on me. It's my fault.
LeBron's problem is the accountability because he's saying cryptic and subliminal tweets. They're not even subliminal. You know exactly what he's saying because we've heard it for the better part of 20 years. So we know exactly what he means. We know exactly what he's saying. But the fact of the matter is that if he could have had Ty Lue or he could have had an Eric Spoelstra, do I believe LeBron James would have had more titles? Yes. But he has what he has. It is what it is. I don't think all those coaches hurt his argument. The only thing that hurts LeBron James is that they don't think we know that he's a large part of the reason why these coaches are no longer coach him. That's the problem that I have first and foremost.
Shannon, you said if he could have Eric Spoelstra, he would have more rings. Damn it, he had Eric Spoelstra. He chose to leave Miami.
And left.
He didn't want to play for Eric Spoelstra no more in that franchise because they wouldn't do it the LeBron James way. Because Pat Riley stood behind Eric Spoelstra. Okay, so when I think about the comments when you said, about Jordan and his expectations, you know why the expectations are different for LeBron James? Because LeBron James put these expectations. LeBron James put these expectations on himself. Because LeBron James is always calling himself on several occasions the GOAT. LeBron James is always speaking out about it. We don't hear Jordan calling himself the GOAT. Here's another thing. LeBron James, this is another thing, man, that I feel like is gonna hurt LeBron. We already know what type of basketball mind LeBron is. I think he's one of the most brilliant basketball minds that ever touched the damn basketball. But when you start making it a case where you're the smartest person in the room all the time, that's a problem. And that's hard for any coach to step into that seat and come in and try to hold you accountable.
We're not going to let LeBron James and his camp get away with that. We're not blaming him for the firing. What we're saying is you can't be as great as you proclaim to be, as we know you are, in today's NBA game, and be completely innocent and oblivious and distant, having nothing to do with the firing of yet another coach. That is impossible. That's all we're saying. But having said all of that, while acknowledging that that's a reality that he has to live with, there's a bigger narrative to touch on. And that is the fact that LeBron James has brought these debates on himself, Shannon, because of this insatiable appetite he has to control narratives. It's what he does. Nobody, I repeat, nobody, no star in the history of sports has gone about the business of methodically, systematically, continuously trying to control the narrative.
So that's the last clip I got there on this topic, but I really felt the need to go ahead and put this out there because I'm really tired of the nonsense. But you know, it's funny that while we're doing this, right, while we're doing this show right now, I just got a message on my phone from one of my cousins, big LeBron guy. You know what this dude said? Boo, we gonna let the haters hate. You see what I'm telling you? Like, these people's brains don't work properly, G. Like, I'm giving you piece of evidence after piece of evidence after piece of evidence. Again, not from me, not from the old head hater who never played, who doesn't know anything, who's the reason that that you shouldn't just give any and everybody a microphone, who should never be taken seriously, who wakes up every morning to hate on a black man. Not me, right? That's what y'all say, right?
Tell me when I'm telling lies.
Nope. I'm talking about people who've been in that seat. Champions, winners, professional athletes, media people, respected media members, all these people saying the same thing I've been saying for the last 15 years or whatever. All right, so I gave you all everything I had on this one. I really took the time to get all this together. G, before we open up these phone lines, man, let me get some thoughts from you, man. Where are you on this, man?
I don't know. I had the GOAT debate with on several occasions with a lot of folks, and I think I was we were training. It was a couple weeks ago, or whatever. And one of the soldiers who I had this debate, we had an in-depth conversation about it. Okay. And the guy came to me and was like, "You know what? He was right." You know, I think as time go on and his legacy is sealed, people will start to see that, like, you know, it doesn't take much, and you know, let your game speak for itself, right?
Facts.
Let your game speak for yourself. You shouldn't have to convince folks on, you know, or even push yourself up and say, "No, I'm the best person to ever play." It's okay to feel that way, but to vocalize it, I think that's the thing that, like, it stains his legacy. You know, it'll be hard, you know, the scoring title, you know, most points ever in you know, for a player,
right.
But he'll never be considered the GOAT in my book because he just lose too much. You know,
right.
if we can get past the losing, you know, then we can talk. But
right,
you know,
right.
That's just where I'm at.
I'm with you, man. I'm with you. So another funny thing before we go ahead and open up these phone lines, while that last clip was playing, got a notification on my phone from one of the channels that I watch. It's a channel called Dreamers Pro Show. Shout out Charles, great show if you want like basketball stuff. Dreamers Pro Show, and he just dropped the show like literally while we're doing this, and the title is this. Get this: former LeBron James teammate reveals the real reason NBA coaches are avoiding LeBron James Lakers. Come on, bro. Come on. Like, what are we doing? What are we doing? Literally, while you and me are doing this show, he drops that show. Like, at what point? At what point are we going to just come to it and say, you know what? All right, cool. I was wrong. Like, nobody's saying the dude can't play. Nobody's saying that. But all the other stuff is undeniable. And I'll tell you this. If you still deny what I've been saying after everything I just showed you, then I don't know what to say. I'm concerned about your mental health. Real talk. That's it.
That's funny.
For real. All right, but what I'm gonna do now, man, we've been going to this particular topic for a while, and the game about to start. So what I want to do, I want to open up these phone lines, and hopefully I can get some calls in here. I don't care if you're on Instagram watching, I don't care if you're on YouTube, I don't care if you're on Facebook. By the way, if you're on Instagram or Facebook, please go over to the channel on YouTube, The Format Podcast. Like and subscribe to the channel, really helps us out. But yeah, go ahead, call us 904-219-8264, and I'm very specifically looking for LeBron James fans and defenders. Those same people who say I'm a hater and this, that, and the third. I'm looking for you because I want to hear what you got to say and how you're going to defend all of this that you just heard. So I'm opening up the phone lines, 904-219-8264. Anybody could call, but I'm specifically looking for LeBron James fans and defenders. Let's go.
Dallas in 7.
Yo, you still on that, G? Come on, man.
Still on that, bro. No Porzingis. No Porzingis. Oh, man.
You trying to see your brother in pain out here? Come on, man.
You gotta appreciate what Jaylen Brown does for the Celtics, right? And that's scary because there's nobody that can defend him.
Mm-hmm.
However, Kyrie owed me a 50 ball.
He could get it. I have no doubt that he can get it. And the scary thing too, and you know this as a player, you don't want somebody who has skills having that game and getting confident. You don't want Kyrie to start feeling it because we know what happens when that dude starts feeling it. It gets ugly. And so I don't want any parts of that. Nah. Because he is very, very capable. No calls? No calls? Come on, man. Where y'all at? No calls? You know, this is funny, G. You and I have talked about this, man. The same people who want to talk greasy to me and leave the comments and all that, which I appreciate because I do love the interaction. Whether you agree with me or not, I don't mind that at all. I love the interaction. But when I tell y'all, hey, we do live shows, like and subscribe to the channel. Hey, you'll have your opportunity to call in and say what you're saying. But I guess y'all just want to be keyboard thugs. I guess y'all want to do that, right? You don't want to call me and talk to me? I mean, what's going on? I'm not gonna bite your head off. I'm not gonna do anything. But I want to dismantle you for the whole world to hear it when you call me with the nonsense. Are you afraid? Where are you? What's going on? What's going on? All right, G, it looks like we're not going to get any calls on this topic, man, which is really disappointing. I put a lot of work into this, and I was really hoping that, I was going to get a LeBron defender. All right, Bruce. I appreciate that, brother. And listen, man, I hope you enjoyed what me and G took the time to put out here for you. And I hope you come back. I hope you like and subscribe to the channel. I hope you share it with other sports fans, because it's not always just going to be hoops. A lot of times we have NFL topics, just didn't have any today. College football is coming real soon. The Olympics are coming, so I'll probably have some stuff there. I even talk about, I talk about boxing when there's big fights. So, looking forward to that. Matter of fact, Tank fighting this weekend, right, G?
Yeah. We got a good one this
Frank
weekend.
Martin. Yeah, looking forward
Saturday,
to that. And Benavidez versus Gavadzik for the light heavy. So definitely got some good fights coming up this weekend. So yeah, we talk about all types of things here on the Format Podcast, sports wise, of course. But yeah.
Hey, Bruce, who you got winning the finals this year? Oh hell, we open up to anybody. Like who do y'all think gonna win? Think the Celtics gonna pull it off or Dallas? I got Dallas in 7.
I got Celtics in 6. I think Dallas is just, in my estimation, they're just too good not to get a game or two, but I just don't think they have enough. I think that the Celtics' defensive versatility on the perimeter is really taking them out of their game and making it super hard for them. That's my opinion. Could be wrong, but that's what I've seen so far.
Well, Jason Kidd definitely got to dial up something that's going to be worthwhile. So
yeah, I'm sure he will. Tonight's the night. I'm sure he will. Yeah. I have no doubt about it.
Tonight, then.
Well, then we know what it is, right?
Yeah.
But but no, I definitely feel like tonight you're gonna see something.
Yeah,
But G, looks like we're not gonna get any calls, man. So there we go. You see this, G? Oh, he's with you. Okay. All right. I like I said, I got Celtics in 6, but I think that yo, Bruce, that's the exact same thing I've been saying. G and I have been talking about this, and I've been saying that Tim Hardaway Jr. needs to get minutes because he is a guy that can explode, and he doesn't even need to explode, but he needs to provide you some extra offensive punch off of that bench. I'm with you 1,000%. If they want to make this a series, Tim Hardaway Jr. needs some minutes. The only thing I'm thinking is maybe he doesn't want to defend, and Jason Kidd's like, if you're not going to play D, I'm not going to put you out there. That's the only thing I can think of. But I'm with you 1,000% that he needs to have Tim Hardaway Jr. on the floor. That's a great call, man.
Hey, when the next time we on, bro?
Saturday night, G.
Saturday night.
Yes, sir.
7 p.m.
7 p.m. Saturday night. We're gonna have another one of these, and we're gonna talk, man. We're gonna talk. This is what we do. I went to school for this. Me and G, we talk sports all the time, so I brought him in. He's a much better basketball player than I ever was, so I value his opinion a great deal. So yeah, this is what we do. Sometimes it'll be just me, but I love to have my brother here with me. So yeah, you're right, Bruce. He did, and like I said, this is why I really think that tonight's the night that he probably gets his and gets busy. So we're gonna see what happens. But I definitely think tonight is the night they can make it a series. And again, I don't know if you heard the Porzingis segment. What I was saying. We'll save that for another episode. We're definitely going to talk the Ravens, but we'll save that for another episode. Yes, football season is upon us, and I love it. But yeah, back to what was Kyrie did look a little shook in Boston, but I really feel like tonight's the night that he's going to do his thing.
He get to do that Sammy Davis Jr. dance on the Celtics floor.
Man, listen, that's what I was saying, Bruce. I don't know if you heard it during the Porzingis segment earlier. I was saying that if I'm the Celtics organization, I'm up 2-0. I let Porzingis sit tonight, and then we got another 3 games until the next one. I see how he's feeling, see how he can go. And even if you lose tonight, it's still 2-1, and maybe depending on how you lose tonight, you might could let him sit again for the next one. And then if it gets back to 2-2, then you got to play him. You tape it up tight and you give him that Toradol shot in his foot, and let's go. But all right, team. Listen, I appreciate everybody who checked in. One more time, if you're on YouTube watching, if you're on Instagram watching, please go ahead, go over to YouTube, go to The Format Podcast is the name of the channel. Like and subscribe. I appreciate all y'all. Appreciate the interaction. Hope you enjoyed what we put together for you and what we do. All right. So have a good one. I'll be back with you next episode, and I'm out. Peace.